right? So now the next thing I like to do is before I put my bridle on, I will actually put my helmet on. And this is because once I've got the bridle on, Noah's no longer going to be tied up and I'm going to be ready to go. And so you want to just get yourself ready before you put a bridle on. So I'm going to put my helmet on. Make sure it's all tightened properly. See, I've got my chin strap. It's not too loose, can't come over my chin. The other thing is that my helmet is tight enough around my head, because if I move my helmet, I can't actually slide it off. It moves my skin with the helmet. So, now we have to do the bridle. Now, the first rule whenever you do anything with a horse's head, which I proved earlier, is that you want to make sure you don't lose control of your horse. So you always want to have something on him that will allow you to tell him what to do or ask him what to do. So, before I take his halter off, I'm actually going to reach around, take the reins of my bridle, and I'm going to put them over his head. And this way, even when I take his halter off, I've still got the reins around him. So I'm going to undo the halter, and I'm actually going to put that around his neck too, just as a security. So now he's not only attached to me, but he's still attached to where I tied him. So, similar to the way that you put a halter on a horse, you're going to stand to the left side of the horse, you're going to reach your right hand underneath the horse, and you're going to just place it on his nose. And this allows you to kind of move his head around where you might need it to be. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bridle, and I'm going to place that bridle in my right hand. I'm going to pick up the noseband, and I'm going to place that in my right hand as well. And the reason for this is the first thing you do, putting a bridle on, is you put the bit, in the horse's mouth. Now, Noah is very good about taking a bit. Some horses are much worse about it. But you take the bit and you act like you're going to feed it to the horse like a treat. So I just feed it to him and look how good he takes it. He just takes it up into his mouth. Some horses won't do this that nicely. They won't open their mouth for the bit. And you might have to take your finger and you see that gap where his teeth there are no teeth, it's just gum. If you push your thumb there, it asks the horse to open his mouth. And a horse will open his mouth for you. Now that the bit is in his mouth, I take the right ear, and I put the right ear so that the crown piece goes behind the ear. I take the left ear, do the same thing. You'll notice I didn't squish his ears, I just kind of pushed them forward so they fit under. Now, the next thing is you want to sort out his cavesson, or noseband. So take cavesson, make sure that it's underneath the cheek piece. See, a lot of people want to do this. That's incorrect. You never want anything outside the bit. You want everything underneath it. So I'm going to sort all of this out, make sure it's nice and straight. Make sure all of your keepers, these little leather bands that hold the extra leather in, make sure that those are in place. I'm going to take the other side again. I'm going to put that underneath the bit. Now I want to check, is it even? Is it skewed? You know, is one side higher than the other, or is it nice and even across his nose? So that looks pretty good. Got a nice even thing. The next thing I'm going to do is the throat latch. And if you remembered, this area of the horse right here is called the throat latch. And this is also called the throat latch. So it reaches underneath the horse's throat latch. I put the buckle in, and you want it to have about 4 fingers between the strap and the bottom of your horse's chin. Oh, Noah's getting excited. So I buckle that, put it through its keepers. And the last thing I have to do is actually buckle the noseband. So same as the throat latch, you put strap through. You want about 1 to 2 fingers, okay? Too much, if you can fit too many more fingers than that, it's too loose. If you can't fit those fingers in, it's too tight, and it's gonna put too much pressure on your horse. So, now we wanna just check, is everything straight? Is everything even? Pull his little forelock out, make sure everything's good. If you want, before you let him go, you can do a final check on your girth. And you're gonna undo your halter while keeping hold of your reins. Now when you walk a horse, you always take the reins off his head, put the extra rein in your left hand, and your right hand is the one that asks your horse where to go. So, that's everything to go, and now we're off to ride.
Thanks for watching this video. Help My Daughter Loves Horses. Check out our website for more.